Hello, hello. So it is Saturday afternoon here in the UK, and it is just gone 12:30 British summertime. My name's Alice Bromwich. I run Empowering Success, which is a resilience and leadership consultancy and coaching company. And I do these kind of sanity sessions every Saturday to explore what are the kind of topics that are coming up at the moment in the leadership space and how can you be approaching them. So this week's topic that seems to have been quite high on everyone's list has been about transformation. So we've obviously had a period earlier on in the year where between the pandemic, various big global political changes that are ongoing has meant that a lot of businesses have been having to look at longer term changes. So initially there was the pivot at the start of COVID-19. And then as we've come towards the different financial areas changing, so some of the furlough schemes that we've had in the UK, there's been different initiatives across different countries in the globe. But some of those are now starting to come to an end. There has been some different financial incentives from the housing market for dealing with small businesses, offering loans, various different things that essentially have almost enabled us to continue almost as if it was an updated hybrid of the old ways of working that we all had prior to COVID-19 and then here and now. Whereas we're now in the middle of September, and from that aspect is coming up to the autumn equinox. So that's a natural stage where, again, the year changes and our seasons change. But what was also coming up at the moment is that now that people are realising that actually the changes that we're needing to make are potentially far more significant. The restructuring of businesses, the changing of your teams. And actually what's been really exciting too is, because I work quite a lot with some of the guys in the recruitment industry, is that they're also seeing now people getting far better clarity on who do they need to hire or unfortunately fire from their businesses. And so from that aspect, that's really helping kind of liven back up the recruitment and the job movement market too, with some really interesting scenarios here as you're going to have people moving role who may never have met anyone in that team before. And from a leadership perspective, that really offers some really interesting challenges as you develop that rapport, you develop that understanding, them understanding your strategic intent, that real clarity of vision that you as a leader are going to have to put across. So the topic I want to explore today is transformational leadership, because I think now as we move over for the next few months, it's not just going to be we've had this empathetic leadership development that we've really needed to hone and look at over the last few months. We're now having to also explore transformational leadership. So what is transformational leadership? So transformational leadership, from a lovely James McGregor Burns leadership book, which I love because it's back from the 1970s, 1978, which shows that it's nothing new. But what it might be is new to us. The ability to transform and develop your business has been integral to every business leader for time immemorial. But so for this, the transformational leadership is a leader and their followers who raise one another to higher levels of morality and motivation. Now, what a great way to be able to explore how to develop your team and your business now as we enter into this next quarter. Like I say, I always make sure that I'm looking 16 to 12 to 18 months out with all of the clients that we're working with, so that it means that we're not just looking at the what do I need to respond to this week. It's very much looking at what are the larger trends that I need to be looking out for, and what are the bigger changes we need to be making in our businesses to make sure they can not only survive but thrive in this next coming quarter and up into the next following 6 months, half yearly into the year-long period. So essentially, let's imagine it this time next year, autumn of 2021. Don't get too scared. What does your business look like? What does your business look like this time next year? Who's in it? Who are your client base? What are the offerings you're giving? What's going to ensure that this time next year, as you're coming towards the autumn again, that you're in a really strong position, that you will have already gone through this transformational change over the winter of 2020 and the spring of 21, What is it that you now need to be putting in place as the leader of that business or as a leader within it to ensure that you are creating the absolute perfect conditions for your team to become really excited about the future? Because there's enough doom and gloom, as you often hear me say, there's enough doom and gloom here for a million years worth of miserableness. But that's not what we need. If you're a transformational leader, the first thing you need to do is get everyone else energized, motivated, driven by the positive outcome you want to achieve. And this is one of the wonderful things about looking forward, is because it helps us out of the quagmire of the here and now, of some of the fear that people might be getting wrapped up in, and helps us look forward, looking forward into the future, so we can really help develop a strategy and plan that's exciting, not just for you, but for those in the business, for your clients, for the market, that puts you as an industry leader. So you've got a really positive, strong pull, rather than just the whacking behind the back of the head from the push that we've currently got in so many of different arenas. So it's creating, number one, create that really strong, positive vision of the future that all of your team can now buy into. So the second part of transformational leadership that I'd love you to explore is, how do you unify everyone? Now that you've got that positive vision, that you know that that's what you're aiming towards. So what does your business look like in this time next year? What does it look like in September 21? What does it look like in September 22? How exciting is that? 2 years away. COVID will be just a distant memory. It will be another thing, the same as dengue fever, malaria, all the other things that come out to kill us on a regular basis. But hopefully by then it will be something that we've worked out how to put it into the regular disease bracket. That's something that we can all understand how to deal with. But this is where we're future-proofing our businesses. So how can you bring your team around you, unifying them around you about that exciting, positive future outcome? Like I say, creating that unifying purpose. Then the other piece that we really need to explore is, how well do you know your team? How well do you know your market? How aware are you? So this is looking at awareness. So we've looked at our clarity, our kind of clarity of direction. We've looked at the unifying purpose. And now we're needing to look at the awareness. How aware are you of your team? What are they scared of? But more importantly, arguably, or just as important, is what opportunities do they see? Because they're in your team because you value their opinion, I hope. They're in your team because they've got industry experience. So how are you utilizing all of the people around you, not only to bring them behind you, but also to make them front runners in this process, where they can see the things they would love your business to have had in it before, or that you would love, and being able to go back to your team leads and be able to go, this is something I really think the business could thrive upon by taking up and running with now. And so you're being able to build up the awareness of yourself and what's helping drive you, and any factors that might be constraining or motivating factors for you. The factors and the awareness of your team and their knowledge too of what's going on around you. But potentially is also looking, we've talked about empathetic leadership in the past, is looking at what might be making them fearful, because that may also be making your clients fearful. So the awareness piece is brilliant because it really helps you tease out what are the factors that might be affecting you, the factors affecting your team and the market, what's happening in the environment around you, so that when you're looking forward, you're doing it with strength and confidence and knowing that it's coming from informed decision making, because you have already got your ideas and knowledge of your industry. And then is looking at your leadership presence. So how are you going to be able to present this to other people? And I think the reason you guys are already in this group, which is always so wonderful to have you here, and thank you so much for sharing your Saturday lunchtime with me, is because we want to lead, but we also want to serve. And we need to be intentional. So when we're developing those business plans, is look at the value added. What are the value added that you're going to be adding to people in the future? Because if you're value adding every day, from today and always, because your businesses wouldn't exist if you weren't already adding value. But how can you up the game with that? How can you tease out extra ways to add value so that by this time next year, you're not just surviving, you're not just thriving, but you are absolutely cooking on gas. You are way ahead of your competitors because the value you're adding is what your clients are looking for. And I love it as far as, when Jobs developed the iPhone and the various different bits of Apple, it's not because somebody said, I want to have a smaller and faster computer I can put in my pocket. It's because he could see that people wanted to be able to communicate globally. They wanted to be able to share information and experiences in an interactive, colourful manner. Which is one of the reasons I've come outside, so you can see the sunshine. And it does shine up here in Scotland. Yes, it does. So look at what can you offer for value. You don't have to go and ask people and just do what they say. Use your wonderful courage in your own mind to go, what would I love my industry to look like? What does the collaboration look like inside my industry? How can I serve people even better? And be really intentional about it. Don't be pushed by the market. Be the driver of the market, where you're the one bringing everyone else with you, bringing them forward with your ideas. Because you know your markets well. You know yourself well. God willing, you know your team well. So this transformational leadership, like we say, is about bringing out the best in yourself, the best in your team, so that you can serve and offer the most phenomenal value at every opportunity to both your team and your client base. Because then why wouldn't people be paying you for it? Why wouldn't they be remunerating you? If money is a flow of energy and a demonstration of value, why wouldn't people be giving you good value price, a good price for the value you're adding? Why wouldn't they be remunerating you appropriately? And what is so wonderful here is I've seen peers of ours, peers of mine, peers of yours, businesses within this group. One of the guys I chatted to yesterday, they've upped their profit margin by 20% during COVID. One of the guys which I gave you, or the ladies that I gave you the example with from last week, where they've doubled their revenue from one business, from 1 million to 2 million. That's phenomenal. And that's because they value, they add. And that's also whilst potentially the profits for those companies might be shrinking. But to be able to develop the business into the future, they know they need to invest now. And finally, I'd invite you to look at determination and your risk threshold. I'm going to have a quick look at these two. Brilliant to have you guys on board. So much. Thank you for being here today. Awesome to see you guys. And yeah, you have got such a selection of different businesses from all of you that are on the live today. Everything from looking after the homeless to doing multinational marketing, through to being in the building industry, through to being in the security sector. You guys are all across such an eclectic, brilliant selection of different industries. But we need to help them transform in their own way, bespoke to the different company and industry that you are in, so that we are developing the industries and the businesses of the future. That's what transformational leadership is about. Bringing out the best in you, bringing out the best in your team, so that we can create that positive, driven vision. We can unite the team behind us, that unifying purpose. We can lead with a strong awareness of ourselves, of the others that we're dealing with, and the environment which we're leading in, with great determination and leadership presence, where we're serving, offering phenomenal value, being intentional about what we're doing. What a wonderful view that is. And I can't wait to see where your businesses are this time next year. 2021. If we aren't just flowing and just creating phenomenal businesses all the way through this next coming year, you won't hit those targets that you want for 2021. If you don't make some of those changes here, now, taking those brave decisions, taking those risks, you won't necessarily have that strong, resilient business that you want to have by this time next year. Every day has to be about action. Focus, focus, focus. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to serve? What are you going to do today? So, great to see you guys. If there's anything I can support you with, please let me know. I'm loving taking on some new clients at the moment. Mixture of doing the strategy development for some. So if you're looking at your business strategy and you want to be able to do a kind of deep dive into how do you set yourself up for that success into 2021 and 22 and beyond, doing that 18-month roadmap so you've got the really clear milestones to be able to work through. So if you want to be able to work through that with me, just let me know. And also we've got our Leadership Accelerator program, which is going to be starting, the next cohort starts at the start of October. So literally just been doing more recording of the modules for that, because I'm here to serve you. I want to make sure that you are bringing out the best in yourself, the best in your team. And let's make those high percentage revenue increases, the profit margin increases. Let's make that for every single solitary one of the businesses in this group. And if you're seeing this, you know you've got access to me. Drop me a message. I'll make sure I put the link in to be able to book a call with me. I'm here to serve you. I want to be intentional. Let's do this together. Ciao for now. Have a wonderful day. It's wonderful to see some sunshine. So enjoy, and let's prepare for the autumn equinox, and what the changes are that are about to come forward. Any queries? Let me have a quick look. Brilliant. So yeah, guys, awesome to see you. And a mixture of nationalities too, which is phenomenal again. So wonderful to see you, Shabelle, from over in Nigeria. Lots of Brits in here, and a couple of Canadians, Americans, which is phenomenal. Love it that you come and join us on your Saturday morning. So have a great week, guys, and look forward to speaking to you soon. And just drop any messages or thoughts down below, and really, really happy to help. Transformational leadership. That is what we need to bring to the fore here and now. Ciao for now.